Hello, everyone. This is Ross from retrodreambeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out on Monday. I'm probably going to be posting this today on Sunday. We had to get ahead of the game, so we're going to pack up all this stuff, and then tomorrow I still have to get the stuff that sells from right now in the middle of Sunday all the way up till Monday morning, because we have to get all of that stuff shipped out because we have like the 1 day shipping and handling time. All right, let's just jump right into it. This right here is going to be an Avon 1984. This is going to be like a duck, like a planter, where you can just put like, dirt and a little plant in the house or maybe outdoors, probably indoors. But yeah, old thing that we used to get, like these ceramic things, $10.91 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. We did pretty well with like that kind of ceramic stuff. People would get different ducks. People were like collecting like the bigger ducks and stuff. We sold some expensive ones for the outdoor ducks that were well done. All right. Next up is going to be this. This is also an old listing. A lot of old listings that sold today. 3 little boxes of magic tricks. I remember as a kid, I would like to grab these little magic box kits and stuff and just, try to figure out how to do them. A lot of people watch like, magic shows and stuff on TV. But yeah, got 3 of these a long time ago. Probably would not pick this up now these days. This ended up selling for $7.70. Yeah, I think we listed this when we were at like Anetta's house. All right. Next up is going to be some 25 lot of hero clicks. This is going to be Marvel and DC. These are just random splattering of commons and uncommons. I even put partial cards, so not all of them have cards. Some of the older figures of hero clicks don't have cards. Cards were introduced into the game when characters would have these white powers, which would be a white box or circle around the number, and you would have to go to the card because it would be a combination of special powers, or it would be like a new power created just for that specific character, where like if a character has like green on their like a attack, that's just like super strength or whatever. So or charge, super strength for that one. So sometimes the specific regular colors just let you know what the regular powers are, but if they wanted a special one, it'd have to be a white box. But yeah, doing pretty well with selling the hero click stuff. I'm gonna keep an eye out for it more at auctions, because I saw a couple other big sellers drop out of hero clicks, but still a game that's going on to this day and still a pretty good tactical one. $17.49. This is just for commons and uncommons. They also have rares, super rares, and chase figures, and prime figures, and colossal figures, and promos. So just for commons, that's pretty crazy. All right, next up, also a super, like, really old listing. When I say old listing, guys, this is probably within like our first 6 months of eBay. So this is like more than 5 years ago. Puzzle, stow, and go right here. This is just a thing that you roll up when you want to, like, continue your puzzle, but you don't want it left on the table. I've used these kind of products before. I was not a fan of them. I had a couple puzzles that would fall apart while trying these, but there are different brands. This is Ravensburger over here. They do a lot of puzzles, and I also know them for doing board games. So really good company, actually, for puzzles and board games and stuff. So maybe their little stow and go, little roll-up mat works compared to the ones I tried back in the day. $4.65 for that. All right, moving along. Oh, this is crazy. All right. Just for me, just crazy for me, because like another old item. Some of these were in my parents' basement, and then some of them were in Anetta's basement or parents' basement. So like I can tell by like the backdrop, the Dollar Tree backboard that we had at the time, the white table. Sometimes we did stuff on the carpet if it was like the magic box stuff, just because it was clean. But yeah, this is a T-Rex dinosaur toy right here. People like to collect different toys, and if you get ones that look good or good quality, and Netta was pretty good at picking this kind of stuff out. She grabbed a lot of this a long time ago. We still, whenever we see it, we grab them. But yeah, this ended up going for $6.30. Sometimes these do better if you do like a whole lot of them, a bunch of dinosaurs. This one just we happen to list separately. All right, moving along. This was a combo order. This is going international. So it was a lot of 4 military books. There's Flyboys, SSGB, The Defender, and Flying Forts right there. So we got these 4 paperback books. And they also got some World War II British Commando metal figurines, miniatures. These ones are interesting because they're like a bigger size. They're like 1.5 inches. I'm not too sure what millimeter that is, but that's kind of like bigger than what I normally see people buying paints and stuff. But, there's going to be different scales for different people. All right, this ended up going for $13.99 for this combo order. All right. Moving along, we have, what is this one again? Oh yeah, it's called the Package, 2nd edition, like a little board game expansion, or maybe a base game. I have no idea what this one is. I'll try to pick up unique board games or expansions, even little expansions like this, because I know someone else will want it, and maybe not enough people have it on eBay. But yeah, it's called the Package, 2nd edition by Gamosaurus Design. Never heard of that board game company before. I don't know if they're still around. But this is going international for $22.40 for this small little packet. So that's why I keep an eye out for this kind of stuff. All right, next up is going to be a Final Fantasy Fantasy Flight Games, not Final Fantasy, Mutant Chronicles. This is going to be a miniature game that they have. I don't know too much about it. I have a bunch of these. I got like a full case full of this, so I think I've only sold like 2 or 3. So it's a replenishable that's like not too crazy, but it was like really cheap. It was like a couple bucks for like a whole box of them. So I got like a full case. So yeah, this is just one figure for the game. But yeah, this ended up going for $6.43. Like I said, I still have like 5 more listed right now, and then I have like the rest in the case. I only put like quantity 6 for people to take a look at. I don't think it matters to have multiple of these characters, so it's not like a big deal to not have all of them listed, if that makes sense. All right, moving along, we have Marvel HeroClix, the Phoenix promotional figure that you would get going to comic stores or board game stores playing during events. This is going to be from a long time ago. So you would they would have these different events where you would go to like a shop and you would play like sealed, which means you would buy booster packs and you would just play there. That's how the store got supported. And WizKids would send the shops different promo kits every month. And then sometimes they would do these 6-month long events where the first month you would get like, this is the base figure Phoenix. And then the next few months you'll be getting these little fragments that you would add on to it. So you're supposed to be going to this event, enjoying it with other people. There's like maps and scenarios that go along with these kind of things. But yeah, this is just like the big Phoenix. This isn't as expensive as the one that I sold from the Mutant Chronicles set. But yeah, this ended up going for $8.99. I have another one, so I already relisted it when I was there. It's not that expensive because like shops would get a bunch of these. But it's still like a cool HeroClix piece. You can still use it. All right, they always have like special rules. Next up is going to be Godzilla, the album for this music soundtrack for the movie. I got a bunch of these movie music soundtracks. I figured some people would appreciate it. Maybe they would watch a movie or get nostalgic and then look up and then find out that they wanted to listen to all the music from the movie. $6.99. I get these CDs relatively cheap. This was not part of that haul. That was $75 for the full car. So still have to mention it. People have probably heard me talk about it a million times. All right, next up is 40 Fantasy. I believe these are not Warhammer, wooden little metal shields. So they can add it onto figures if they want. Yeah, just a bunch of these. I'm not too sure what company these are from. I just, laid them all out. I did dimensions for people. So if they want to use these to customize miniatures or to do some kind of other miniature project with it, maybe put some shields on the bottom of a base of like a bigger monster to show that there was a battle there before and the monster survived. But yeah, $10.77 for this bag of 40 of them. All right, moving along. I just listed this. This is Dice Throne. This was a game I never played. It looked like it would be a cool co-op one, but I think it's single player only. Single player. It's a dueling only, so it's competitive. This is going to be the Tactician for the Dice Throne dice game, board game. I see this place all the time at different conventions. It never really caught, I like dice games, but the fact that it wasn't co-op and it was just like dueling characters, it never really fully got me into it. But I can see why people like this game. This is just one character. They would have the base game. Then you can buy these like little character boxes where it'd be like 2 characters against each other. It'd be like Tactician versus, I think this one was the Huntress or something like that. There's a lot of stuff for this company, and they go to a lot of conventions. I don't know if they still go, if they're still around. They probably are, but $15 for this particular character. All right, which about makes sense. The expansions where you get 2 characters, like 30, 40, or 50, depending on which ones they were and how rare they were. All right, moving along, we have a vintage 1980s Transformer G1. It's like Warpath, I think. This one right here, this I believe was from when my brother got a bunch of like a huge toy collection. He worked on it many years ago, listed most of the stuff, like 95% of it. And then he had like a couple baggies of bits and pieces. He transitioned over to cards. He said he wasn't going to touch them for years, so he gave them to me. So I listed all of the few baggies he gave me, and the stuff's been still selling to this day. So I appreciate it. He watches sometimes, so thank you. $6 for this particular one. So nothing like too crazy for that, but that was just sitting in his room in a bag, rotting away. All right, now someone gets appreciated. Next up is going to be World War II. This is going to be an M7 Priest. So I kind of already have it in the baggie, so you can't see it, but someone did like a really cool paint job. I'm not sure like what brand this is. They did some basing on the bottom where I tell like people put like grass and flocking, and they paint it up, and there's like rocks, and it's a well done World War II like miniature. I got a bunch of these from an auction. This might be like the only first or second one that sold. I can't remember how much I paid for a lot of these things, but this ended up going to repeat buyer for $12.24. So that's like I think they're going to appreciate it when they see it because it is well painted. All right, moving along, we have 9 Dice Master booster packs. You see me sell these. This was actually a split. There was 6 Age of Ultron booster packs. That's one of the sets, and then there was 4. What was the other? 3 Worlds World's Finest. I want to. Sorry, I don't have the title showing, but yeah, World's Finest. This was a game by WizKids where you would get these booster packs. It would have 2 dice, 2 cards. You make a little deck, which are represented by the dice, and then you duel someone else. Most of it was like Marvel or DC themed, but they also did like Ninja Turtles, Yu-Gi-Oh. You see me sell the Dungeons and Dragons Fey Run ones, and I know they had some other IPs that I can't think of, but yeah, $8 for these right here, booster packs. These were originally supposed to be like $1 each, so this person's technically getting what's cheaper than what retail was. Just because something's old doesn't mean it's worth more, but you know how it goes. All right, next up is, I did not pay $1 for those. Next up is going to be Memoir 44 cards. It was like a bunch of them. It was like a pack of 69 right here. Memoir 44 is this game by, I believe, by Days of Wonder. There's a base game, a ton of expansions. I think a lot of it can be super expensive depending on if you have them complete or in parts. And there's also a version of the game where you play like a big battle. It'll be like 4 against 4 and stuff. And then also people can make their own scenarios. You're doing like World War II different battles. These are the cards. Some of them are command cards. The game works where you have a scenario, you set it up with your pieces, there's dice, and then there's like victory points you're trying to get. And then you'll have cards in your hand that either say you do stuff in the left flank, the right flank, or the middle flank, or a special action and stuff like that. So it's not like a game where you get to move all your pieces and attack with all your pieces, and the other person gets to do the same thing. You have to actually be like a tactician with that. But yeah, these are more additional cards. $15.39. I realized the bits and pieces for Memoir 44 has been going pretty well for me. It's probably because people make like custom maps and they want more stuff, and they play the bigger version of the game, the official, like it's like 4 versus 4. All right, moving along, we have a book. I was going to say plastic, not plastic. Fantasy, The Scroll of Lucifer right here. This is, I believe it's going to be a fantasy novel. I'll get a bunch of these fantasy sci-fi novels. I get them relatively cheap. Sometimes I'll lot them up if they're the same author or the same series. Other times I'll just give it, bless you. Other times I will try to, I lost my train of thought. But $6.99 for this one. All right. I don't know too much about that one, so I can move on. Next up is Flames of War. This is going to be Open Fire, a quick start rulebook. So Flames of War is a really popular World War II game. I believe the miniatures, I don't know if the miniatures are pre-painted or not. No, you have to paint them up, but it is a pretty, it's a well-known miniature game where a lot of people who like World War II and miniature games do this. This is just a quick start rules. Even as a quick start rules, you can tell it's like still a pretty thick rulebook. But yeah, Open Fire is probably going to be one of their like little expansions. They have a ton of stuff. It's hard for me to bid on this stuff at auctions. Usually other people win the bid. They know more about it, and they're probably grabbing it for themselves. So it's going to go higher. All right, $9.79 for that little booklet. I can get the little scraps occasionally. All right, next up is Lego Indiana Jones 2 strategy guide book for the video game right there. I played one of these Lego games a long time ago. I think it was one of the Marvel ones. They're actually pretty good. I think they are designed for like kids and stuff, but I still played one for like the Wii, and it was a pretty good one. So I understand why people like the Lego video games. They are a lot of fun. Better than one would expect. But yeah, people like Indiana Jones. This is just a strategy guide book. Nothing too crazy for this one. $7.87 for that. All right. Next up is going to be a combo order for a board game, Waterloo. They ended up getting a little order of appearance sheet right here. They got a time record sheet. They keep track of like the turns in the game. And then they got this, I think this is maybe custom, a combat results table. I'm not too sure if this was custom. It was hard to find. I think I was the only one that had it listed. It is like a thicker board right here. So they'll probably be excited when they see this one. I mean, I did good pictures, so they know what they're getting. But yeah, they grabbed these 3 pieces for the Waterloo board game. But yeah, I think I've sold like the bigger version of it. And then also there's different versions of the Waterloo board game. So it depends on which one it is. $20.98 for that combo order. All right. Eros, I think I'm saying that right, in concert right here. Music CD right there. I remember when we shipped out someone like a concert DVD to someone, they said the sound wasn't like how it sounded like when they were at the concerts. I know, it cracked me up. We got it like a return for that. I didn't fight it. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. That's fine. But yeah, it's still gonna be like a DVD or CD. But people still like these and collect them. But yeah, this ended up going for $10. This was also not from the car full of CDs that I got for $75. So a lot of CDs I sold out. I'll still occasionally pick them up. It wasn't only from that one haul that one time. We just had a bunch that one time. All right. Next up is going to be Cherished Teddies. I don't know why these are doing pretty well. Like, I have no clue, other than Annetta told me that Gen Z was liking to paint up like, cutesy tchotchkes like this. They'll make them like goth or just different schemes, color schemes and stuff like that. So this one's going to be a Cherished Teddy on top of an elephant and like a circus one. This one I'm going for $10.50. I'm super happy. This was probably one of my least favorite bulk purchases, even though we made a lot of money from it, and still to this day. And they weren't like too miserable to the list. They were like medium tiered, annoying. All right. Next up is going to be Reaction Marine Star Con figure. This is going to be like, I don't fully know. I've sold these before and I have some listed. It's by Rafa Miniatures. They do a bunch of different types of miniatures. I don't know if this is like for the Star Trek game or like what exactly this is for. But yeah, it's like this little flat sci-fi spaceship, hover ship or something like that. I've sold this stuff kind of before, but I don't know too much about it, but I will pick it up when it's cheap enough. $8.82 for this one. All right. Next up is going to be a lot of two. These are going to be little comic books, DC ones. It was off of Centipede, the video game right there. And the other one, what is the other one? Atari. I think it was like Atari for you or something. So they're based off of Atari game. I can't really see it right now because I have it packaged in this wrapper. But yeah, I get some comic books occasionally. I'm not like a big like I don't have a huge knowledge base of comics, not even close. But I know I buy some from someone who like sells me the scraps really cheap, and they know their stuff. So I'm never gonna get anything like super fancy. But $8.82 for this. But they get to get rid of their bulk. I get it for cheap, and then I do sell it, and people do buy them, and then people are gonna read and collect and enjoy them. All right. Next up is going to be some Batman playing cards right here. Batman and Robin. It has like the old school look to it. This is a used deck. I like to pick up playing card decks. I haven't found any in a long time. I remember I was at a card show with my brother and he picked up some, but they weren't like unique enough, at least for me. But I'm sure he'll do well selling them that he picked up. But yeah, that was the last time I saw some of this, like a few months ago. $8.09 for this pack of playing cards. All right. Next up is going to be SAS Desert Ambush Streetlets miniatures, 1 out of 72 scale. So these are going to be right here. These are going to be 1 out of 72 scale. These are kind of like how they look like when they're in a box of miniatures. I'll get to these later on, but like these will be inside of these boxes. But yeah, people will paint these and then enjoy them, play some games with them, or make like little scenes and stuff and collect them. Yeah, this ended up going for $10 for these right there. All right, moving along, we have Koala Lumpur Journey to the Edge. I have no idea what PC game this is. Sorry, you're probably gonna get like reflection and stuff. So yeah, it's just a CD right here. I took like a lower offer. It looks like there's like a kangaroo or something, and then like some kind of like dog person. I don't know, some kind of cartoon. I'm sure someone knows what this is. But yeah, this doesn't ring a bell for. I played a bunch of like vintage PC games back in the day as a kid, but this one doesn't ring a bell. $4 for this one. I think I took a slightly lower offer. I think I had it for $9. And then they sent a $4 offer. I'm like, I want $5. And I was like, whatever, I'll take the $4. Not a big deal. Someone's going to have fun with it. All right, moving along, we have another international sale, Goblin Commander Unleash the Horde strategy guide books, not the video game. I don't remember this one either. Never played this one. This just has like it looks like it's an RTS game or something like that. But yeah, this ended up going for $15.39. So getting pretty good. Like usually the strategy guide books that I pick up are like $8 to $20. So this is kind of more on the higher end. Remember, we just went through the Indiana Jones one and it sold for about like $7.87 or something like that. All right, moving along, we have KT Mac International. No, not Mac United States Lines truck right here, a die-cast truck. I like to pick up like the little planes, the jets, the tanks, and like the trucks, stuff that's not just like the regular Matchbox size. But yeah, someone ended up picking this up for $8.39. It's a pretty good quality little die-cast truck there. That one's also going international, and so is the next one. That's crazy. I didn't realize how many international sales I had until I was just looking at all the stuff right now as I'm talking through it. So yeah, this one's international as well. It's going to be a Marvel Flare Carnage card right here. It says limited edition 2 of 9 right there. So yeah, it's a foil card. It has a little curve to it, but I took pictures of it. I kept it in like a top loader in the storage unit to make sure it didn't get more bent. Just $5 for this one. Other than that, it's still in good condition. So it's Fleer Ultra Spider-Man Golden Web is what it says in the top there. All right. Next up is going to be Warlord Games. Oh, I forgot that this Marvel card came from. I got like 2 binders of like Marvel cards for like, I think they were like $1 each, like some kind of like an actual like steal of a price. And then there was some like huge winners. Some of them were selling for like $50-$60. And then this is like the scraps from that. Yeah, that was super lucky. One of the luckiest buys I got. All right, next up is going to be this right here. This is going to be Warlord Epic. Jeez, I can't think of it. Yeah, Warlord Games Epic Battles miniature bases. I almost had it memorized there. But yeah, I got a bunch of these bases. They were sitting around me for a long time, taking up a bunch of space near my listing station. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get them done. People have been buying miniature bases from me for the holidays and for the winter time, because then they get to, do their miniature hobbies indoors. It's an indoor hobby usually. So yeah, this is the last. This whole bag was filled with different. It was like bursting with different bases from this particular game. I think I only have like one more set of bases. That's it. So I made like 12 listings or 15 or something, and then I only have one left. But yeah, they bought two of these. I did quantity, and they spent $37.78. So it's just like little bases for that particular type of game. All right. Next up is going to be Sarah McLowan, fumbling towards something, fumbling towards my words, towards ecstasy. This is going to be a music CD right here. This one I did think I get from the car full of CDs for 75 bucks. But yeah, people are really liking the media right now. I feel good for the people that have probably collected and gotten a bunch of CDs in the past like 5-10 years. They're probably getting super rewarded right now. We had a good amount, but not compared to like other people have like thousands and tens of thousands of them. But yeah, $6.99 as these companies take away stuff from like streaming services, and people just want to still listen to the CDs, or they still want to play their video game, or they still want to watch their movie. They're starting to pick up the physical stuff, because as long as it doesn't get broken, you get to watch it forever. All right. Next up is going to be this right here, PC game, Imperium Galactica Alliances 2. So we got the little double CD case right here, PC game, and then like the actual instruction manual. This is not a strategy guide. This is a manual right here. I like to pick up the PC games. Speaking of like the physical media, people are appreciating them and collecting them. $12.59 for this. I haven't played this one, so I don't know too much about it, but people love sci-fi, and people like the simulator PC games and stuff, and the strategy games. So I'm sure someone likes that. All right, next up is going to be a card game by Looney Labs. This is going to be Flux. This is, I think, fifth edition. So Flux is going to be this card game. I think I played it one time only, so it's been a long time. I understand the basic premise. There's like dozens of different types of Flux. You have cards in your hand. I think you draw a card and then play a card, or you might play one and then draw, or something like that. That's the whole game, and you do what the card says. And there's going to be like a victory condition on the middle of the table based off of a card, but people can play cards that change how someone will win the game. That's what the Flux name comes from. Basically the victory condition is always in flux. You never know exactly where the game's going to go, so you have to hedge your bets towards different victory conditions. Really simple game. A lot of people like it. It's quick playing. There's different themes. There's like a bunch of IPs. You can get anything from like Doctor Who to like, I don't know, some horror movie to like some fantasy one to like just the base game. You can get like, there's a bunch of themes. Look it up. All right, this end I'm going for $8 right there. They never sell for too crazy unless if they're like a super rare one. All right, moving along, we have Dictionary of the Napoleonic Wars right here. I saw a lot of the Napoleonic miniatures. People like this historical era. This is a hardcover book. Got a bunch of these. I like selling like the thicker ones here, because then I get more space at the storage unit. I keep these in bins on like the bottom shelves, so I don't like have a big box of books crush me. I'm very careful with like where I put stuff in the storage unit. This one I'm going for $16.79. This is a really good condition one. It's like a good coffee table book. All right. Next up is going to be a combo order for more Napoleonic miniatures by this company called Hat right here. These are Dragoons, and then we got Macedonian Phalangelites. I don't know if I said that right. And then we have more Dragoons, another box of these Dragoons. So I got a huge box of these miniatures probably like a year ago or so, and these boxes have slowly been selling them. Some were complete, some were not. Some were like out of the box, like the ones I showed you earlier. I don't think that was the same company, but it's the same scenario where you open up the box and you have like all the miniatures that you have to like cut off and then shave them, the bases, and then you paint them. But yeah, this end I'm going for $48.97 for that combo order. All right. Moving along, what is this one? Senier Modern Logi Games. I'm actually not too sure. I would have to check my pictures of what this is. Let me take a look real quick. What was this one? Logi Games. I think I grabbed this because, oh yeah, it's like a weird like domino dice placement game. So yeah, I think I picked it up because I didn't recognize it, and I never recognized this company right here. And it says it like gift box code down there. So it's probably one of those war games that you would go to like a gift shop, and then you pick out one when you're traveling. But yeah, this one stood out to me. I didn't even know what it was, and I still don't know what this one is. But yeah, I ended up going for $18.37 right there. All right, Next up is going to be some Matchbox cards. Like these are going to be like a lot of 11. I did like a little theme here. These are like, there's an ambulance, so these are like emergency vehicles. We end up having, yeah, more like police, and then like a fire truck. So any kind of like a sheriff. So yeah, emergency vehicles, disaster rescue truck. So yeah, I got a bunch of these. Like I said, sometimes I like to do little lots of themes. This ended up going for $14 right there. All right, moving along. Railways of the World Ice Mini Expansion. It's going to be one of those board games like train games. There's a lot of train games. I'm not aware of all of them. You probably can't see anything because they have like a clear kind of see-through. They call it the Ice Mini Expansion here. There's so many train games and railroad games. There's like the 18X series where like you do like a bunch of stuff within the game. I haven't played an 18X game before, but a lot of people know Ticket to Ride. That's like a really base game where you're like picking up little tickets, and you're trying to match colors onto the railways, and then you put down your little trains and get points. That's one of these games. It might be a little bit more complicated than Ticket to Ride, but yeah, little expansion, $9.80. And last item for, well, I guess for now, at least for this video, but it won't be for shipping out tomorrow. It's gonna be, I'll do more for tomorrow, so you're getting an extra video today on Sunday, and then I'll do more in this video, and the next one is what's being shipped out tomorrow. Vintage. It's like a little craft booklet right here where it teaches you how to do different like pom-pom things and little crafts. Super cool. People like to collect these little booklets and stuff. We probably got this one relatively cheap at like an estate sale, but I thought someone would appreciate doing like little crafts with their kids or something like that. Or if someone just wants to do them, $5.67 for this. All right, lots of rambling. Thanks for sticking with me, everyone. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend.